सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We have seen 3 ways of doing karma. Still somehow it's a little muffled. I don't know what the reason is. Can you hear me back there? They can't hear. Is it better now? Still they cannot hear.
Increase that.
We have seen that okay, we have seen 3 ways of doing karma. One is to be completely stuck on what? Phala, results of action. Become a karma phala-holic and do the karma just for the sake of the phala. How the action is done, nobody is interested. And why I am doing this action? Just to get the results of action. The ends justify the means. This is one way of doing karma, and this is on one end of a continuum, one extreme. And obviously we are trying to grow out of it. That is what is karma yoga. To grow out of that is what constitutes karma yoga. This is what it is. It is not trying to just be doing as one wants, without any ethics, without Ishvara in the process. One is stuck on karma phala. On the other end of the continuum, we have jnanis and sannyasis who are doing karma even though they don't need to do karma. What are they doing karma for? Loka sangraha. Loka sangraha means to help out the people, again without any pressure. Many times they feel like, you feel what? Oh, I want to help people. Why? Because I can't stand somebody else's pain. That is the time to not help. That is the time to not start a movement. That is the time to help yourself. Look in the heart because the pain is here. We have an expression in America, you spot it, you got it. So whatever you spot in other people in the universe, that means there are threads here. This is Vedanta. If you want to have Vedanta in one sentence, it is you spot it, you got it. So anything you say about anybody at any time, that means what? If there is a reaction, that means there is a hook there. Something is paining here, and that's what needs to be addressed. So this is one way of doing karma. And on the other end of the continuum, we have Loka Sangraha, people who are free. They have Atma Jnanam. Either they are householders with Atma Jnanam leading a regular life, or they are sannyasis with Atma Jnanam and they are not needing to do anything. But still they do because they find that they can fill a role and help. This is the other end of the continuum. Now, what is for the rest of the humankind? Neither there nor here. Enter Karma Yoga, the path of moderation. Because this is nice to see what we have studied so far. This is what we have studied. This is the path of moderation. Here, ethics matter, values matter, what I do matter. Ishvara matters because I want to get away from this first type of karma where I am addicted to the fruits of the action. I want to get away from that, but then that's causing a lot of pain. I miss that karma, that kind of engagement. I miss what to do, where to take the pain. Enter Ishvara. You bring in Ishvara into your life in order to make that happen, in order to find a place to rest the head and to a place for the tears to flow and for the pain to go. And Ishvara becomes the proxy doer. I am not doing it, I am giving it at the feet of Ishvara. Let Ishvara be the doer, and the results of action is what? Ishvara alone come from Ishvara, and they have to be received as prasada, prasada buddhi, yoga buddhi. Why this karma yoga? Because this person is wanting to go on this side of the continuum, is wanting to be with the jnanis and sannyasis. At the moment, that person, he or she is a jnani wannabe. Wannabe means wants to be, not yet a jnani. So then there is a special way to qualify for this Atma Jnanam by disconnecting the what seems to be a natural connection between karma and karma phala. You disconnect that specially and not really focus on the karma phala, because the karma phala is what? Prasada. Bhagavan will give. And if he or she doesn't give, doesn't matter. Whatever comes, I will learn to take gladly, with glad acceptance. This is the middle path. Here also one is doing this for the sake of Atma Jnanam, because Purushartha Nishchaya has taken place. What is Purushartha Nishchaya? Deciding what one really wants. Out of the 4 Purusharthas, what is it that one wants? Yeah. So actually the 4 Purusharthas is just a number for people whose visions are cataracted by Raga and Dvesha. So in place of 1, they see 4. Why? Raga Dvesha is obscuring the vision. So it's almost like, when somebody is drunk, they get them from the vehicle and go like this. We don't have all these nowadays we do, but in villages and all, you don't have this fancy breathalyzer test and everything to see if somebody is under the influence. They just drag them from a vehicle, usually a bullock cart, and then they go like this. The local police. How many? And what does the person say? 4. Okay. And they book them and take them and keep them for the night until their intoxication wears off. Here too, intoxicated by ragadveshas and whose vision is cataracted by Atma Ajnanam, sees 4 in place of 1. Only 1 Purushartha is there. What is that? Moksha. But what about dharma, artha, kama? Dharma we can keep aside for the moment. Think about artha. Artha means what? Security. Nobody says, I want security. You know what we say? We say, I want freedom from insecurity. That is artha. So when I say I want freedom from insecurity, what is my conclusion? I am insecure. The I is insecure. Is that the correct conclusion? No. It is not this is a wrong conclusion. It's not the insecurity that has to be fixed. It is the wrong conclusion that has to be dismissed. So that is dismissed by the Shastra, showing that you are the most secure thing in the world. Because you are the only one. There is nothing there to displace you. So then how many Purusharthas are left? 3. One we have done, Eka Poshanam, swallowed up. Then we look at Kama. What does that say? Why do you seek pleasure? I want to be happy. I want happiness. Can you buy it at the market? No. It's not an object. No, it is an object. Show me the chocolate cake and I'll show you how happiness is an object. I'll show you the chocolate cake when you are having stomach flu. Would you like to have it? Not at all. You'll say, get this thing away from me. What happened? It was supposed to be an object of happiness? No, not today. So therefore, it is not happiness that one is seeking, it is the happy person, I. And so, I want happiness means again I have concluded wrongly that I am an unhappy person. That has to be dismissed. That conclusion has to be dismissed. When the conclusion is dismissed, then Atma-jnanam dismisses that conclusion and I understand I am the source of the happiness. How many Purusharthas left? 2. So sad. They are going fast. Then we will take Dharma. Dharma is a thing to be accomplished, but it is more of it is that which gives a sense of self, a sense of belonging, and a sense of a person who is fit to pursue, really, who is fit to pursue the Parama Purushartha, which is moksha. So Dharma is a means to an end, so to speak. Dharma cannot become the end. If Dharma becomes the end, it's like a person, I gave this example before, wearing a tuxedo and staying at home. Then you ask the person, why are you dressed up in such an expensive clothing? You're going out? No. You're having some function at home? No. Then why are you all dressed up with no place to go? Just like that. That is what Dharma is. You wear the dress of Dharma and then you have to go somewhere. You have to go towards moksha. Dharma is a dress which is the convocation dress for moksha. After having graduated from Dharma, you go to moksha. So Dharma has finished its purpose when the person is grown up to go to moksha. How many Purusharthas?
1.
That's all. So this is Purushartha Nishchaya. Purushartha Nishchaya, don't think it is okay, four things are there, let me choose. It's not like ice cream, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, pista, mango, whatever, it's not that. It's not like that. All the 4 Purusharthas are not on the same plane. In fact, it is the same. There is only one Purushartha. If I miss the bus, if I miss the boat, or the plane, or the train, then the other 3 shine. I just settle for the other 3 because I am mistaken about this one. There is no 4th state. We keep talking about what is that? Waker, sleeper, then dreamer, and then the 4th state. There is no 4th state. If there was a 4th state, and it is also called Turiya, short for Chaturiya. That's why they got the idea it is the 4th state. 4th state means what? What about these other 3? Who is sleeping? Not me. I am in the 4th state. Who is dreaming? Who is eating? Who is drinking? Who is waking? It is the Turiya. I am Turiya all the time. Sleeper is me. I am not the sleeper. Waker is me. I am not the waker. Dreamer is me. I am not the dreamer. Similarly, when you choose moksha, the other three come along. Moksha includes all the purusharthas. Oh really? Now moksha is sounding better than it did a few minutes ago. Exactly. It includes artha, it includes kama, of course it includes dharma. It's all in all. But if you choose kama, moksha is not included. That is what one has to understand. So this is where one is proceeding, because the person has done purushartha nishchaya, and again purushartha nishchaya is not choosing one out of the four, is understanding that all there is one. And when I don't understand that, it morphs into many different choices. As I told you, the more we know, the fewer the choices in life. So I want to go towards moksha, so therefore I am going to do everything I can to prepare for it, including temporarily surrendering the doership for the sake of moksha. So I surrender the doership unto Ishvara, stage 1. And when one is a jnani, then stage 2, the total surrender of doership completely. Nothing there. There is no person there doing. It's all happening. And so this karma yogi is a very important thing, because those other two are, one is distasteful and one is out of reach, out of these two extremities or these two things on the continuum. I no longer want to do karma for the sake of karma phala, so this is distasteful, been there, done that, I am sick of it. And then on the other side, I don't know how to give up doership. So what do? I surrender the doership unto Ishvara, become a karma yogi. This much we have seen in the last few verses. Now let us further go. If this much is understood, the next 3-4 verses should go very quickly. So this is reiterated in verse number 30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyaadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Hey Arjuna, yudhyasva, fight. Fight how? After gaining a few things. First, you understand a few things and then get ready to fight. So, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya, having renounced sanyasya, having renounced what? Sarvani karmani, all karmas. Oh, so Arjuna is getting his wish. Bhagavan is giving him permission to be a sannyasi. Not so fast. Not really. This is the first stage of letting everything drop at the feet, at the altar of Ishvara. That is what we are looking at here. So, Mai means not the local Krishna that was standing there in the battlefield, but Bhagavan, Ishvara. So, giving everything, giving all the karmas, including karma phalas, to Ishvara. You don't carry something that is already being carried. Like the lady who got on the train with a huge basket of vegetables and refused to put it down, saying she didn't want to burden the train. Train is going. So don't carry what is not yours to carry. Why are you getting shoulder injury, head injury by carrying something that is not yours? Karma phala is not in your hands. And obviously, the link between karma and karma phala being so strong, it is sometimes difficult to cut the link. Give up karma phala, give up karma, both to me. Both you give up to me, that's easier. So, Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya. Arjuna is not being asked to become a sannyasi. Arjuna is being asked to surrender the actorship, doership, agency to Bhagavan. Because obviously, if he had given up all actions, then he would not be asked to fight. The first line contradicts the second line. Second line is being asked to fight, first line is being asked to renounce. So obviously, it's not renunciation as we know sannyasa to be. It is a kind of a renunciation. The first step we said, which is karma yoga, giving up everything at Ishvara's feet. So how to do that? Adhyatma chetasa. Adhyatma chetas. Chetas is heart. Adhyatma chetas means an inquiring, introspective heart/mind. An inquiring mind, an introspective mind. A mind that has done the word that we saw in the morning class today, pariksha, self-analysis, introspection. And it has done some pariksha of the various lokas. And we saw all the characteristics of the loka today, fleeting, a big headache, and causing sorrow, changing, finite, all these things. Anything that you examine suffers from these defects. All fields of experience, anything you experience suffers from these defects. First, it's an object of love, and then afterwards, it's an object of distaste. And that is why this Adhyatma Chetasa, through a heart that is on the right path of enquiry, using viveka, use that discernment, do Purushartha Nishchaya, use that discernment and slowly grow from that. And then, so fight with these conditions. First give up all your burdens to me. Even this fight, you are just a nimitta. Arjuna is going to be told, nimitta means you are just an instrument. He is going to be told this in the 11th chapter. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Savyasachin means ambidextrous. Arjuna was very skilled with the right hand, with the left hand. He could unerringly, he had no dominant hand. He was able to fire off unerringly arrows that hit the target. With either hand he could do this. You may be very dexterous, but when it comes to this, you don't have enough viveka. He is told in the 11th chapter, you just be an instrument, I am the doer. You are not the doer. The same thing is being prepped here, the same knowledge. Giving everything unto me. That way you won't have guilt. That way you won't be hurt. That way you don't have to carry things that are the burdens which are not at all necessary. Then, Adhyatma Chetasa Mayi Sarvani Sanyasya Nirashihi Bhutva. Asha means all kinds of desires. Nirasha means the one who is without strong binding desires. Nirashin. So Nirashi Bhutva. Nirashihi. So the without strong desires that threaten to hijack the mind. And a mind that is introspective, calm and filled with viveka. Nirmamo bhutva. Mamatva or mamata means myness. Not M-I-N-U-S, okay, not that. M-Y-N-E-S-S, myness. So, This is mine. And he already told in the first chapter. What did he tell? Swajanam hatva. I can't be happy after killing my own people. These are my own people. That was the problem. That was the sorrow. That is why he could not fight. That is why he was resisting this war and has been still. And so, Nirashihi Nirmamaha. Nirmamaha means don't think of them as your people. Since you have given everything to me, just do what you're expected to do. Yudhyasva. And one more adjective has been added. Yudhyasva who? Vigatajvaro bhutva. That bhutva carries everywhere. Nirashihi bhutva. Nirmamo bhutva. Vigatajvaro bhutva. Becoming what? Vigatajvaraha. Jvara means fever, feverish. But here it shouldn't be taken literally. Feverish with frustration and anxiety. So giving up the frustration and his complaints, anxiety, fear, that is the fever here. Samsara jvara. So be free of this fever, the fever of samsara, which makes you take tension when there is no need to be tense, which makes you anxious when there is no problem at all. So let go of all these things and get up and get ready to fight. In other words, what? Be in the middle. We talked of these three positions. One is the ajnani, one is the jnani, just being a breath of fresh air in the world and helping people for no reason at all. And in the middle, you are here. And if you follow all this, you will slowly but certainly go over to this side and go far away from this side. The person for whom there is no dharma, the person for whom the ends justify the means. Next one. Ye me matamidam nityam. Ye me matamidam nityam. Anutishtanti manavaha. Anutishtanti manavaha. Shraddhavanto nasuyantaha. Shraddhavanto nasuyantaha. Muchyante tepi karmabhihi. Muchyante tepi karmabhihi. Ye tve tadabhyasuyantaha. Ye tve tadabhyasuyantaha. Ye tve tadabhyasuyantaha. Ye tve tadabhyasuyantaha. Nanutishtanti me matam. Nanutishtanti me matam. Sarvajnana vimudhanstan. Sarvajnana vimudhanstan. Viddhi nashtana chetasaha. Viddhi nashtana chetasaha. Here we have the famous pairing of these two verses. One showing what happens when I follow this method of being in the middle and avoiding this extreme and going towards the ideal in the continuum. And then the next verse will show us what happens if we don't. The Bhagavad Gita is very obliging, doesn't let you sit with these questions, immediately answers them. Even if the mind arises, oh come on, always karma yoga, karma yoga, karma yoga, how much? Don't worry, it will continue in chapter 4 also. And so what is this so much karma yoga? What happens if I don't do it? Immediately, you don't even lose sleep over it. In the very next verse, the consequences of not following the vision of Lord Krishna, Bhagavan giving this vidya, are laid out, laid bare, so that the choices we make are extremely well thought out. We can actually choose to do what we can do. And then Ye me, ye means ye janaha, the people, me matam. Matam here means generally means opinion. When Bhagavan says something, it is not an opinion. It's a fact. It is a teaching. So matam here can be translated as vision. Those who do not follow my vision, ye me matam idam. Those who do follow my vision. Nityam, when, all the time, not ek bar. Nityam. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manavaha. Ye janaha, ye manavaha. Those beings, those humans who follow my vision. Anutishtanti means they go along with my vision all the time. So that is the first line. Ye manavaha me matam idam nityam anutishtanti. Those people who always follow my vision. And who are they? Shraddhavantah. One adjective for these manavas, these human beings. And then anasuyantah, second adjective. We'll see those in detail. Muchyante, they are freed. Te api, te goes with manavaha. Te manavaha api muchyante, they are also freed from what? Karma bhihi. They are freed from the karma and the karma phala sticking to them. They are free. Meaning, they are qualified to gain this knowledge. And then they go over to this side of the continuum where the jnanis are, and they are freed. After pursuing the knowledge, after gaining the qualifications to pursue the knowledge. So who are these special people? Shraddhavantaha. The ones who are endowed with Shraddha. First condition. Shraddha, what we saw, Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharana Sa Shraddha Kathitha Sadbhihi Yaya Aksharam Adhigamyate. This is the Viveka Chudamani's definition of Shraddha. With reference to the Shastra, with reference to the words of the teacher, Guru Vakya. Satya Buddhi Avadharana. Avadharana means the ability to hold, the ability to maintain. What? Satya Buddhi. This must be true. Giving the benefit of doubt to the teacher and the teachings. Instead of jumping and saying, no, you're wrong, because I read something somewhere else. This is not correct. You're saying something. And maybe the student won't say, but they may definitely think it. And then that thinking must be altered to allow the Shastra Pramana to work. So what exactly is Shraddha? We can simply take it as trust. Shraddha is trust. Why is it asking me to trust? Because nobody trusts. Trust is very hard. It's very hard to even trust the people you love. Forget, coming to some ashram you've never heard of, and then you're sitting here with so many people and you're being fed something every day and you're told sit and trust. You're entrusted with developing trust. How is that possible? And so this obviously is an important thing to look into. Instead of asking the question how to develop trust, first I have to ask the question of myself, why do I not trust? Then that goes back to early childhood experiences, other vasanas, etc. Father absent, mother available but as good as absent, inconsistent. That's what happens. And then in the beginning, for the child, the mother is God, father is God. Simply because that's all the child knows. It has heard the voice of the father in the womb. It is connected to the mother. And it knows these are the two people it knows. Uncles, aunts, grandma, they come later. First, these are the primary caregivers. It knows only these two people. And it looks up at, oh, they can walk, they can talk. I can't do either. And it has, in its small little innocent mind, it has a little adhyasa, transference. These are the gods, these are my gods. I am so helpless. They are going to take care of me. They are going to love me till the end of time. And guess what? Since they are gods, they are infallible. Every child thinks this. Unless or until, to give Pujya Swamiji's example, the child, this continues up to 2 years. The child is adoring the parents. It has a particular adhyasa called Shobhana adhyasa, a positive transference. And it just can't get enough of the parents. Anybody comes, shoo, they are mine. Even if a sibling comes, it will look at the sibling with eyes that stay away. These are my parents. They are for me. They're not for anybody else. And then, if we take Pujya Swamiji's example, everything is going very, very well until the mother sees a flying cockroach. The kind that greeted us on inauguration day at the Adhishthanam. Yeah, people, nobody has forgotten that. Yes. At least nobody is scarred for life because people are able to smile at the thought. So the mother sees a flying cockroach. First the child sees the cockroach, and the child has never seen the cockroach, 2.5-year-old toddler. And it runs to the mother, Mama, look at this. Mother, look at this. It's behaving weird, it's starting to fly, I'm scared. And it tries to catch hold of the mother's dress. What does the mother do? Leave the child right there, jump on the dining table. And the child is like, so much for the thought, so much for the feeling that they're going to take care of me. They're never going to let me down. Ye kya ho gaya? What happened? The mother then calls the father. The father doesn't even come to the room because he's even more scared than the mother. And the father just calls the pest control from the outside room. The trust of the child takes a hit. And like this, the trust is slowly eroded. As an adult, one is a bag clutching, surreptitiously looking at everybody. What do you want? What's it? All the dog samskara, the territorial samskaras come out, like the dogs we see on our walks. They don't do anything to people. Another pet dog comes, they just start a crescendo. So like this, we are like that. This is mine. This is good. And even it takes a good month after coming to the ashram. Okay, they are also mumukshus, I suppose. All right, I can let my guard down a little bit. It is safe here, or is it? I don't know. But this is the feeling. This is the adult. And this is universal. This is Ishvara's law. The unconscious mind is that the pain of cockroach and wherever the child was left behind, where the child was hurt, where the parents or the caregivers did not come through, all that is there, but the child has no way to process it. No way at all. It doesn't have the infrastructure. It has no structure. Its brain has not developed. Emotional maturity is not there. Emotions are barely, it is able to recognize what they are. So Bhagavati, goddess in all her wonders and all her compassion, she puts a veil on these memories, on these pains, so that the child is able to grow up normally. Despite the pain, it's able to go to school, it's able to go to college, it's able to earn a living. And then as an adult, when the brain is developed, when the emotions, it can discern the emotions. Finally, it is safe enough to feel unsafe. That's when the emotions come pouring out, usually in a trusted friendship or in marriage. You marry and then immediately, then there is the feeling, oh, this person is here for me. And they become the target of all the things that comes out, the unconscious. And or if marriage is missed, ashram, that there also it is safe enough to feel unsafe. And there could be small volcanoes. Yeah. Why only small volcanoes? Because Vedanta is going on. And Adhikaritvam is being developed. So little volcanoes, small fires, which can be nicely, we can put out and do upashamana. That is why it is very effective to study in a group, rather than sit at home in your room in front of Zoom. Yeah. There's only this much growth that can take place. Here you have to do things together. Like Swamiji was saying, I don't want to see this person. That same person will come in the front. And the one who you don't want to see alone will come. When? 24/7, 365. Actually half of 365 because it's a 6-month course. Once Pujya Swamiji was asked at a satsang in Anekatti. In Anekatti, people asked, why are there so many routes to go to the temple? And indeed there are. There are 5 or 6 ways you can go to the temple in the Anekatti ashram. And Pujya Swamiji did not miss a single chance to teach. And so he said to this person, so that you can all go to the temple without encountering the people you don't like. So as soon as you see the person you don't like, you turn around and take the other route. And then you see somebody else, you take around the 3rd route or the 4th route. Like this, at least you will go to the temple. And you won't stay away because you're encountering somebody who you think is annoying. So there is a complete loss of trust. A baby helpless has to trust. The total helplessness of the baby is compensated by 100% trust. It goes to anybody holds it, it trusts completely. And then what? Later the adult does not trust anybody. I have to watch out, nobody is going to take care of me, I have to be a go-getter, I have to do this, I have to do that. And this will continue. Vedanta will not speak. Bhagavan's teachings will not enter the heart until one rediscovers the lost trust. That is Shraddha. Rediscovering the trust that was lost through no fault of my own, rediscovering that, being willing to understand that, this is Shraddha. But how is this Shraddha? How does this happen? How do I go from total or near total distrust to trust? That is because the trust that was lost with regard to the local mother and father of the universe is regained by daring to trust Ishvara as the mother and the father of the entire universe, not the local mother and father. Jagataf Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. This is what one has to discover. This is the leap of faith. And that is why the topic of Ishvara in the Hindu tradition is extremely sophisticated. And that is why in all our iconography, northern, southern, doesn't matter. All the manifestations of Bhagavan smiling happily and showing the hand. What is this? Abhaya Mudra. Don't fear, I am here. That is the meaning of this mudra. Don't fear, I am here. And the other one can be like this, so many things. Generally it is like this. Don't fear, come to me, I am here. Let go. Don't be the ninja. Don't be an offensive, defensive child. You're not a child. You're an adult. First of all, you're an adult. That's what the puja and the shraddha there, putting the trust in Bhagavan teaches us. This puja, phala, shraddha, phala, all this teaches us many things. I am an adult. I am not the 2-year-old that was left when the cockroach came or when something came, when a calamity came. Because even if I am in the face of challenge, any challenge, I have the ability to protect not only myself but a few other people. This is the reality. This is what we have to tell ourselves. This is a fact, not the feeling. The feeling is nobody will be there for me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That oh my God is not your voice. It's the voice of the 2-year-old. It's the voice of that one which was abandoned, which was neglected, perhaps even abused, hard as it is to think of. And so this child has to be integrated with the adult. You don't throw away this child. Even Lord Dakshinamurti has kept the collective inner child at his feet. It is not to be thrown away. It's to be embraced and integrated. How to do that? By reparenting this inner child. The whole life goes avoiding this inner child. How to avoid this inner child? Go see a movie, go eat something, go waste some time in some other way, go on a holiday, distract yourself in so many ways, buy a smartphone and completely get immersed in that. So many ways there are, so many devices there are to distract oneself. So the child does not even trust you, the adult. You have to turn around to the child. You have to imagine talking to it and saying, you know what, I am here for you. What will the child say? Yeah, right. Where were you all these years? I don't believe you. And you'll have to tell the child, that's okay that you don't believe me, but I will be here for you. And then slowly you regain its trust. And then suddenly there is an emotional trigger. Somebody said something which was completely wrong. And I am not like that at all. Why did they say this to me? This is not you. What is it? It's the 2-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever it was. Whenever that hurt occurred, it's that age child. And so you have to gain the trust of the child enough to say, not now, I'm in a meeting. I will talk to you later. But then later you have to sit with it. You have to sit with it. You have to give it a voice. You have to allow it to write. You have to allow it to talk. You have to allow it to express itself. And even if it is against somebody, you have to allow it to express itself. Don't send that in a form as an email or a text. This is just for the inner child to have a voice. And then you tear it up. You tear up whatever you have written. This is just an outlet. In this way, the shraddha that was lost is regained slowly, and it cannot be done without becoming a bhakta, without Ishvara's help. Because the number of hurts in this life itself are too many. What to talk of previous life hurts that one may be carrying. So therefore, shraddhavantaha means the people who have figured this out and who are not throwing throwing the remnants of their hurts on everybody else. That is not a very responsible thing to do, and sometimes one cannot help it. But one learns to keep it to oneself, one learns to have that inner space between the witness, the Sakshi Aham, the observer, and this inner child. Just like the mother looks at the child who says, I don't want to eat, I want to play with this toy, I don't want to eat, and it is banging its fists and it's on the floor. The parents look at each other, look at the child and smile, because they know the child is not wanting to eat, it's wanting to play because it doesn't know that it's hungry. We know it is hungry, so we will surely calm it. It's not a problem. The parents don't get distressed. The child throws a tantrum in the toy shop. The parents say, yes, you will get over it, doesn't matter. I know there are many, many toys and you can only have one. We told you that. I know it's terribly disappointing, but you will get over that. The same thing you have to do to this inner children. Oh, you said only child. Yeah, but there may be more than one. And it's okay. It's okay because they're all the same. If you know how to deal with one inner child, you know how to deal with all of them. And so you grow them up and you make yourself ready for Vedanta. Because usually what happens, two people come to the teacher. One wants to be entertained, loved up and given prasad every hour. Okay? And the other one wants to study Vedanta. So this is the dual reality. And the way Pujya Swamiji used to teach was, in one hand he would have the rattle. Rattle, you know, what is that? Yeah, some bells, a little stick with bells on it. In one hand he would have the rattle, in another hand Tattvamasi Chil Mudra and teach. It was beautiful to watch. He would acknowledge the inner child, but address the Vidyarthi, the Shishya. This we have to learn to do on our own. We have to learn to do on our own. And that is what makes the difference between the gain of the knowledge or the not gaining this knowledge. As the subsequent chapter will say, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The one that is endowed with Shraddha alone gains the jnanam, na itaraha, not others, not the other one who doesn't have Shraddha. So simply it is trust. Trust in the words of the teacher, trust in the words of the Shastra that it is not going to delude me. It is not going to take me for a ride. There are many, many people in my life who have taken me for a ride, who have disappointed me, who have defrauded me, who have not been there for me. But this is not one of them. Why? Because we have the parampara. This is not a cult. This is a culture. This is a culture which is a spiritual culture. It's not a cult. Cult means it's based on one human being. Here the teacher is just one of many. One of so many. The parampara gives me the strength. Okay, and if you go to, like ancient mutts, if you go to Joshi Mutt, they will have all the photographs, and before photographs they will have sketches. Before even the sketches, they may not know what the acharyas look like. They will still have the names there. That itself makes me feel safe. Oh, all these people, these 100 people, 200 people were not deluded. They all became acharyas. They all crossed the ocean, the terrible ocean of samsara. Why? Because they understood it was just a notion called samsara. They all were able to cross, and so shall I. This is Shraddha. So the one that has Shraddha in my vision gains this vision and is freed of karma. Then one more word is there. What is that? Anasuyantah. Asuya. Asuya means intolerance. We have two similar emotions. One is asuya, another one is matsarya. Let's define matsarya first. Matsarya is commonly translated as jealousy. And what is the definition of jealousy? Parasya utkrishtam drishtva. Some kind of a santapaha. Manasa santapaha. Some kind of an affliction, santapa. Why am I having affliction? I am seeing somebody else climb the ladder of success. And what do I think? It should have been mine. How come this person? I also worked hard. I also did everything that I was told to. I also showed up for this interview. How did this person get a job and not me? And in fact, I don't like this at all. There is a burning jealousy. This is called matsarya. There is one more similar emotion which is referred to here. It is called asuya. Asuya means, the definition of asuya is guneshu dosha darshanam. That in the middle of virtues, you keep on finding fault with people's virtues because you cannot handle them. And it's done very, very cleverly. This person is always on time, and that's what everybody thinks, and that's because they know when you are there. So when you are there, this person comes on time. So it's a backhanded takedown. Yes, this person is generous to a fault, very generous. In fact, people have been saying that they are a spendthrift, that they cannot save even 1 rupee. This is how people talk. Guneshu dosha darshanam. Instead of looking at whatever virtues are there, you convert them into faults and also spread them around because you cannot tolerate this person, so you want to take them down. This is asuya. So the person who is endowed with Shraddha is a fulfilled person. The person does not need to take anybody down. The person does not need to feel jealous. And so the one whose mind is resolved, the one who has overcome this asuya and matsarya will definitely be freed from the onslaught of karma and karma phala, the endless loop, karma phala, rebirth, karma phala, rebirth. The person is freed from this samsara. Next one. This we have already chanted. Ye, tu. Tu means whereas. Tat abhyasuyantaha. Abhyasuyantaha means they are terribly, terribly jealous and intolerant. Na anutishtanti me matam. They do not follow my vision. They do not follow my vision of karma yoga, which is being given here. And who are they? Sarvajnana vimudhaha. They are deluded with regard to every branch of knowledge. Para, apara, everything in between. Everything. They can't be the masters of any branch of knowledge. Why? Because they are not prepared for anything. They are always busy looking at others and feeling jealous and trying to take them down and gossiping and all these things. They are useless for knowledge of any kind. Sarvajnana vimudhaha tan nashtan vidhi. Know them to be as good as destroyed. Who are they? Achetasaha. Achetasaha doesn't mean heartless, but it means without viveka. Who keep mindlessly doing things without viveka. They have no viveka, they keep doing things. They have no shraddha, so therefore they will not study this teaching. And then they have asuya, they are filled with intolerance, so they are busy taking everybody down. Where is the preparation? No preparation. Is there a possibility of karma yoga? No. On that note, we'll see the rest tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari